I'm Amy, thanks for tuning in. In case you haven't heard on my social media or been able to tell from the title of the video, I've got some really exciting news. Publishing is a really strange thing that I had an idea 2 years ago, got an offer for something last October and finally can talk about it the following March. So I've been absolutely bursting with this news, and I can finally say that I am curating a horror anthology by UKYA authors with one of my closest friends, Mia Kuzniar. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and 2 years ago I texted Mia, we were talking about something else, and out of the blue I said, do you want to put together a YA horror anthology? Mia, who isn't necessarily known for horror writing, who isn't a YA author, but is brilliant at both of those things, and she just really liked the idea. We started talking about it. It took us a while to collect together a group of authors and people that we know, people that we admire and love their books, and then last October it went on submission and it was picked up after an auction by Scholastic. So we're so happy about that. We're really excited to be published by Scholastic and to be working with this incredible team of authors. We feel so lucky, so excited. So I thought I'd go through the lineup for the anthology with you so you can find out a little bit more about the authors involved. So as I mentioned, I'm the author, in case you didn't know, of Mina and the Undead, Mina and the Slayers, and an upcoming Mina book which is coming out in April next year, 2024. I am really excited about my story. I can't say anything about it yet except the fact that you will probably recognise it as mine, but it is a slightly different direction from the Mina books. And next we have Mia. I couldn't possibly choose between her brilliant books, but for each author I've just chosen one and I can tell you about the other things they've written. So Mia was first known for her middle grade books, the Ship of Shadows series, which are both absolutely gorgeous pirate books set with a female crew who are trying to discover fascinating artefacts from around the world. Absolutely brilliant adventures, and she also wrote gorgeous adult romantic historical fantasies. I think that's the best way to describe them. Midnight in Everwood and the upcoming Upon a Frosted Star. So I'm so excited that Mia and I have curated this together and put together this amazing list of authors. It feels like such a privilege to do it with a friend of mine and an author that I admire. So first up in the rundown we have Dawn Kurtagich. Now I met Dawn as a fan of hers. She signed this copy of The Creeperman, in fact, I think, at Yalk a few years ago. So to be a contemporary of Dawn's now, to be writing UKYA horror is just such a thrilling thing. Dawn has written a story which I think that people are going to very much enjoy in her dark, sort of typical style. I'm not going to say anything about the stories because I want you to be able to experience them, but I'm very excited about all of these, as you can probably tell from my face. So next up we have another author who I greatly admire. Kat is the author of lots of very popular YA books, including Harrow Lake and Wicked Little Deeds. Her books are, like Dawn's, extremely creepy, psychological YA horrors, so I'm really excited to see what people think when they come to read her short story as well. Next up we have Cynthia Murphy, who is the author of YA horror thrillers like Win, Lose, Kill, Die, Last One to Die and The Midnight Game. Her books are absolutely thrilling, twisty, very much kind of rooted in different myths and things like that. Like one of them is based on the legend of Spring-Heeled Jack. One of them is based on an internet creepypasta. This one is based in a boarding school where somebody is killing off the candidates for head girl. So I think that Cynthia is also offering something unique and exciting to the anthology. Next up we have Kathryn Foxfield. Kathryn and I have something in common in that we both kind of had our start because of Write Mentor. Kathryn did really well in the Children's Novel Award and I was one of their mentees. And Kathryn, this was the book that came out of Write Mentor that she did well in the competition, and this was the book, which is based in a creepy carnival. It's kind of one of those very close sort of settings where people start to die. And she also wrote Tag Your Dead and It Is Behind You, and similar to Cynthia, if you are a fan of that horror thriller line, Kathryn's books are amazing. Next we have Melinda Salisbury, who is just one of the, I think when you think of UKYA, she's one of the authors that you think of. Her books are gorgeous, evocatively written fantasies. I just picked up the State of Sorrow book, but she also wrote the Sunita's Daughter series, and I think Melinda is just known for creating absolutely gorgeous fantasy settings, characters that you care about, kind of breaking your heart and making you fall in love in her books. At the same time, we're really excited to have her involved, as we are all of the contributors. Next, we also, as well as having really established authors, we have exciting new talents like Rosie Talbot, whose book 16 Souls, I'm sure you've heard of, came out last October, also from Scholastic, like the anthology. And this is a gorgeous book about a boy called Charlie who can see ghosts, who ends up meeting another boy and falling for him, and they just get involved in this really fun, creepy mystery around York. Such an amazing setting. So excited to share with you what Rosie has done for the anthology as well. And we have Amy McCulloch. Amy has done really well with both adult books. She's written Breathless, that has been a huge success. And she's written amazing YA books in the past, like the Potion Diaries for sort of younger YA readers, the Jinxed books, and then the Magpie Society books with Zoe Sugg. So Amy is just a really versatile writer. It's very exciting to see what she'll do for the anthology. I'm looking forward to everybody reading the story. But if you're looking for something in the style of the anthology, these books are a good place to start. Sort of a dark academia themed creepy mystery. I really recommend all of Amy's books, but these are the ones with the feel of the anthology. Next up, we have Kat Dunn, the author of the Fantastic Dangerous Remedy series, set in revolutionary France. It's sort of historical fantasy with kind of some dark, creepy undertones, fantastic characters, LGBT relationships, just the kind of book where you're absolutely rooting for the people in it, and we're really excited to have Kat involved, somebody who's done such great things in fantasy, and to give her an opportunity to write some horror as well. Next up, we have Mary Watson, who, as I'm sure you know, writes gorgeously evocative, creepy, beautifully written books, such as Blood to Poison. I haven't actually had a chance to read this one yet, but I'm really excited. It's about a sinister family heirloom, a curse that's passed down through the bloodline, where one woman in every generation is destined to die young. The family calls them Hellas girls, named for their ancestor, the enslaved woman that it began with. Hellas girls are always angry, especially in the months before they die. The anger is bursting from Savannah. The men who catcall her mother's disingenuous fiancé, even at her own loving family. Each fit of rage is bringing her closer to the edge, and now Savannah has to act to save herself, or die trying, because the key to survival lies in the underbelly of Cape Town, where the sinister veil witches are waiting for just such a girl. It sounds so good. We're really excited to have Mary on board. I think that her writing treads really nicely across genres, and it'll be lovely to see her, and for everybody to see her writing some horror. Next, we have Rachel Faturoti, who wrote the absolutely gorgeous Sade and Her Shadow Beast. I read a really early copy of this and was just absolutely enchanted by it. It's a beautiful middle grade book about a young girl dealing with grief, but also a really uplifting book about her finding her voice, finding the power of poetry in her case, and about her relationship with her family. Rachel has also written a YA book called Finding Folkshaw, which will be out by the time the anthology is out. Also a book that I really loved when I read an early version of it. And it'll be exciting to see Rachel writing something with more of a horror bent. And finally, we have in her young adult debut, Louie Stowell, who I'm sure needs no introduction. She wrote the Dragon in the Library books, Otherworld, and then of course the Loki books. So it's so exciting to have Louie on board, because her writing is just so full of voice and character, really inventive and beautifully executed everything that she's done. So it'll be so exciting to have her in the book for her young adult debut, and see what she does with the horror context as well. So that is it, our 13 amazing contributors. You've got so many fantastic stories ahead of you from different parts of horror, some creepy, some absolutely terrifying, some which are more of have a touch of sci-fi, some have a touch of folklore. There's something for absolutely everyone, so hopefully you will pick up the book if you like the sound of it, if there are some of your favourites in there, and hopefully you'll find some new favourites as well. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think of the anthology, which author stories you're excited about, and you will be able to pre-order it fairly soon, but it will be coming out in October, just in time for Halloween. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye!